Thanks for joining me on the Punchy Panda podcast. Got a lot to get through today. We're going to first start off with the most important thing. As an African American creator and as an African American and a black man in this country, I'd like to thank everyone for standing up and speaking out against the horrible treatment of our people by the police officers in this nation. More importantly, all the celebrities who have made their voices heard and, in my opinion, made the situation a lot more visible to the world, especially in the MMA community. It doesn't have to be done. There's so many names to name, so many people to thank. I'm just going to start off with Chuck Liddell, Jon Jones, Israel Adesanya, Randy Brown, everybody else that's stuck out there and is doing the good work to protect citizens and to keep these protests peaceful. Thank you so much. And with all that said and done, let's just jump right into it. Let's see. Some information that was just dropped today. We have an official date for the July 11th card between Rose Namajunas and Jessica Andrade, two former champions. Long-awaited rematch. Can't wait for something like that to happen. As far as the fight concerned, as long as Rose can stick and move and basically implement the Joanna game plan, she shouldn't really have any problems. It's that lack of focus that's always plagued her and basically her entire career. If she can stay focused, she'll be one of the best, and she could probably win the championship back from Wei Lee. Her jiu-jitsu is lights out. Rose Namajunas, Jessica Andrade has never seemed more powerful. She's looking to bounce back big. Honestly, the most important thing that I'm looking to take away from this is the mental state of both competitors. Coming into China and getting shut out like that in under a minute and having all the terrible things that are going on in the world affect Rose Namajunas' family life. It's really, honestly, very interesting just based on that. It's very, very interesting in that battle. Also, we have Cody Stamann in the news. Did a couple of rounds of interviews. Everybody's following tragedy. Everybody, of course, is dealing with issues around COVID-19, but he also lost one of his brothers, and he's looking to bounce back mentally and emotionally this weekend. Who's Cody Stamann fighting this weekend? He's UFC bantamweight. So it looks like he's going to be taking on Boom Keller. It looks like since it's a short notice fight for both of them, they're going to be doing this at featherweight instead of bantamweight. Brian Keller looked awesome in Jacksonville, so I'm glad to see him just bounce back really quickly. He's number 12 ranked, Cody Stamann, so hopefully he can get a very favorable matchup here. I have to stop touching my face. I'll do better at it. Alright. See what else got announced today. Dana White doing the rounds, shutting down any Conor McGregor speech. We have a tentative date for Fight Island, if you want to call it that. Dana White announced that he's looking to have Fight Island start June 27th. Of course, notoriously last week he said, I want all the pictures to be perfect. You guys got this grandiose scene of what Fight Island is going to be. But I'm very interested in to see that. As long as there's just some type of flair that you can add to literally just fighting on a beach, I would appreciate that. Really would. Tyron Woodley doing the media rounds again. He says he is ready to fight again. And he's already signed on to face Kobe Covington. After his last two performances, I'm really poo-pooed on Tyron Woodley. He's an amazing competitor. He's an amazing professional. He was one of the best champions the welterweight division has seen. But I really think he needs to take a step back, take one of these lower ranked opponents. Burns is on a 5-fight win streak, for goodness sake. Maybe take a Santiago fight, maybe Neil Magny if he can come off of a win this weekend. But to go back in there with Usman, especially with all that emotional investment, I just feel like it is dangerous and it's not good. All of his fights, he's literally been mentally out of it. He's not looked like himself, and at the very end of the day, if that's going to be his downfall, he's got to get in there with somebody he knows that he has an advantage over. He has to get his confidence back, his mojo, if you will. But I think Kofi Covington, even though they're both coming off of losses, even though it's going to be a big money fight, that's going to be it's going to be a war for both of them. Speaking of wars, let's just hit up the main card of UFC 250. A lot has been made of it. A lot of people consider this a FS1 card if we were still on Fox, ESPN card, but it's shaping out pretty good. You have two champions on the card. You can never be complained about that on that main card. And one fight that I really want to take a depth into that I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier is going to be Neil Magny. He's going to be taking on Rocco Martin here. And Neil Magny and Rocco's are almost virtually identical on the tail of the tape, but the experience level is ridiculously out of the chart. Neil Magny has fought so many high-level opponents in this welterweight division. He's been in the UFC for, I feel like, over a decade, and he's always come to fight. After that long, extended win streak at welterweight for Rocco Martin, he took a loss. He took a loss to, I believe, Damian Maia. Has he fought since that Damian Maia fight? Let me double check. I don't think so, though. Alright, let's see. Gee whiz. Yep, he got a win over Ramazan Aviv by decision in a nice little bounce back fight. Someone no one's ever heard of. But at the very end of the day, that person was, I know he has talent. I've definitely heard of him before, but maybe not as big of a name. But you needed somebody to bounce back on, and he did a very good job there. Neil Magny, on the other hand, I feel like his trajectory was just plummeted after his RDA loss. And he did not look good against Ponzinibbio, and I'm just looking for, if he has one more spark, one more good run in him, for him to make a difference in this division. Well, that's going to be it for today. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me. I know a lot's going on in the world. I know a lot's going on in MMA, and I'm just here to provide a relief for you. Punchy Panda Podcast. Always follow me on Twitter and on Facebook and YouTube as well, Punchy Panda. Thank you guys for joining me, and always punch up.